Yo, what up, people? It's your buddy Philko here, putting live from your mama's house. Doing my thing as I usually do. And I'm ready to start this Stop the Bullshit movement. I'm dead ass. I really want to start this. I want real niggas to get on it, and I'm going to explain it. Now, first and foremost, the girl you see in the back, that's Tasha Minnie, one of my favorite twerk dancers, and she's a partner of mine, one of the models I deal with out here in Russia. Check her out. Her YouTube page, her Patreon page, she's doing great, millions of views. She is amazing, beautiful, 20, young, cute, and just pure tasty. But that aside, when are we going to stop the bullshit? So what is the mission statement? What is the goal of this Stop the Bullshit movement? Well, basically, I want to make this Stop the Bullshit movement because I want people to understand that this culture, especially men, I need men, especially the young men, to understand that this culture of one man, one woman together, and you can't be with anyone else kind of normalcy thing is not for every guy. It's not for every guy at all. It's not for every guy, and guys who can't necessarily do that or fit that mold shouldn't be talked down upon, because it's just not in them. Now, usually, depending on the male himself, like him being very attractive, or him having a lot of money, or him being very famous, that either raises or lowers the odds of him being able to be with one woman all the time. So it depends on the state of the man. Not every man can live out their fantasies as often. You know what I mean? Not every man can do that. Some guys are perfect for monogamy. It is not just because they may not be able to live out their fantasies like other men can. A lot of them are good at, not a lot, but some men are good at being a monogamist because they really have hearts like that. There are some guys like that out there. Right out here in Russia, in this city, one of the most attractive guys I ever met, no homo, but you can just kind of look at this dude and you can just tell, he has a nice body, has a pretty face, all that shit, you can just tell. Did I say pretty face? Handsome face, whatever the fuck. He's a friend of my homie, Dre. And he's also rich, has a really big apartment, owns businesses and everything. And he's been with one girl his whole life, and he can't even understand why guys like me deal with more than one girl. He can't even understand. Like, he's actually baffled. It's like, I don't understand how you guys do that. Just get one girl and just be with that one girl. Why you waste your time with these other girls? And he makes a lot of sense. He's absolutely right. He is absolutely right. But we're not all molded like that. We all can't do that shit. A lot of people say things like, it's animalistic, all this kind of stuff. The reason why I don't give a shit when people say that is because I have a lot of respect for honesty, and consenting adults. I'm not down with Heart Progress. If you guys don't know what Heart Progress is, look it up. It's a new pedophile movement, and they're trying to fuse Heart Progress into the whole LGBTQP community. I cannot believe I memorized all those letters. You feel me? So I'm not down with that because I have a strong respect for consenting adults. If they understand what's true, they really know what's going on, they understand the terms, and they agree to it, why do other people give a fuck when it has nothing to do with you? Whether it's 2 men, 3 men, 4 men, 1 woman, living together, they're all in a relationship, why is that any of your goddamn business? That got nothing to do with you. Period. I'm all about consenting adults. I'm all about it. But this culture we have right now of this whole bullshit of just like, oh, if you can't just be with one woman, you're a monster, you're a dog. Well, you are a monster and you are a dog, and you should be called those things if you're lying about it. Now, why am I starting this? What sparked this idea in my head to start the Stop the Bullshit movement? Kevin Hart's interview in the Breakfast Club. I watched it twice. I think I watched it 2 days ago and again yesterday to see if I get something different from it. It was the most bullshit interview I've ever heard in my life. Even the interviewers were in on the bullshit. Charlemagne the God asked motherfucking Kevin Hart one question. And I was so curious to know if Kevin Hart was going to tell the truth. He asked Kevin Hart, he said, sorry, I'm drinking something. He said, is it wrong because you cheated, or is it wrong because you got caught? And of course, blah, 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 tried to be deep crap, then it was, it's wrong because I cheated. Bullshit. Bullshit. So, what's funny is, and I don't know if his wife has realized this, but what made Kevin Hart tell his wife that he cheated on her? Was it just guilt? Was it just, oh man, I feel so wrong. I love my baby, my children. I should say something. No. It was because she was threatening to expose him. She threatened him. She had a video. And that's why he came out with it. So imagine how many times he got away with it when he didn't receive a threat to get exposed. Why is he only talking about this one time? Why didn't he take that opportunity to say, because he comes out with everything, he speaks about everything out in open. Why didn't he come out and say, well, I cheated in this situation, and I also cheated in some other situations you don't know about, but I'm trying to work on it? Why couldn't he say that? Why did he have to say, oh yeah, this is this one time? And the way he tries to make excuse for it, oh man, you guys won't believe there's a terrorist attack, and then nobody was with me, I was all by myself, and then when you find out the whole truth, you won't believe how I ended up with this woman. Nigga, you a grown ass man. Unless this woman got a gun or some kind of weapon to your head, there's no excuse for you fucking her. There's no excuse for you doing what you did. What are you talking about? And now I understand why some women look at men as dogs and all that shit. Because sometimes, to me, they have a point. When you're lying to a woman to get what you want, you deserve to be called a fucking dog. Absolutely. And it's the other way around as well. I'm all about consenting adults and honesty. That stuff is extremely important. And people don't respect that. They respect this culture of one man, one woman thing more than they respect the whole honesty thing. I'm way more with honesty than one man, one fucking woman. If I'm with a girl I really like, and, you know, we're together, and one day she goes, you know, I hope you don't mind, but you're not the only guy I'm seeing. Depending on the relationship I have with her, I don't give a fuck, which is usually the case. I don't give a fuck, you know, as long as you wear a condom with the other dude, you know, don't bring me no disease and shit. We all good. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? 'Cause before I met you, were fucking other guys anyway. And it's not like you came to me as a virgin, so why am I going to care so much now? But that's me, because I'm not very emotional. That's one thing about me. I'm not very emotional. I don't get jealous. I don't give a fuck what anybody's doing. I don't give a shit. You know, I can't stress that enough. You know what I mean? But yeah, I really want to start this Stop the Bullshit movement. Like I said, not all guys should be a part of this movement, because there are some guys out there who are very good with monogamy. They're good to be with one woman their whole lives. They're really good for it. But when it comes to these celebrities, extremely attractive men with a lot of women chasing them, why do they do it? Especially when they do this shit, and sometimes they end up losing their children, they end up losing half their money. Why do they set themselves up? What the fuck? Is it for this so how the public can view them? Oh, see, that's part of the culture, how people look at you. Fuck that. Let's stand up against that. Fuck that. Let's make it normal for a superstar to go to the show with a different woman every night. Or maybe 2 women in his arm, maybe 3 women, if he can afford all the seats in the motherfucker. Why do those guys gotta be looked at as, by society, is not as acceptable as the guys who have a wife? Well, because they're being honest and they're living the way they want to live, regardless of how you look at them, and they're all consenting adults. What's your issue with consenting adults? What's your problem? You mad because you can't do it? I forgot who said it. It was Bill Burr. He had a stand-up, and he was talking about how people were talking shit on Tiger Woods because, you know, Tiger Woods got caught cheating on his wife. And he was talking about how some fat politician was like, how can he do it? This is reprehensible behavior. And he was like, oh, please, like, this fat fuck has girls chasing him, you know, after he finishes doing his job. He's like, sorry, ladies, gotta go home to the wife. No, he doesn't know what it's like. I barely know what it's like. I barely know what it's like. And I couldn't even handle what I went through. Now, let me tell you what I think about being a man is, and this is also going to be a part of the Stop the Bullshit movement. This is for men. My opinion, one thing a man has to be is he has to be financially stable, and if he has a woman, he has to be partially or fully financially responsible for that woman. Like, he has to take care of her, or at least has to help her out sometimes. You know what I mean? If you're dating her, you gotta hit her off with something. You know what I mean? Not saying paying her for sex, dog. I'm saying if she happens to need, like, if she needs it, you're able to help her when she needs it. Like, it's winter, she doesn't have a really good coat. If you really like this woman, you spent good time with her, you can't afford to get her a decent coat or something, you slipping in my book. You just slipping in my book. Now, maybe she got her money to do it herself, then whatever. But if she cold and she got to rely on another man to get that coat, you kind of slipping in my book, you know? But this is what I mean by being a man. I want this to be for men who can support themselves and or partially someone else. You know what I mean? And because I understand there's some men who live with women and they lie to these women because they need a place to live. This may sound strange to you guys, but I've known many guys, and I've been in a situation myself, who were in a real fucked up situation, and they kind of gotta live with this woman in order to have a roof over their head, literally. You know, they ain't got no job, looking for work, and so they're promising, you know, monogamy or whatever with this woman when they really can't do that. They may cheat on the side, which is very dangerous to cheat in that situation because they kick your ass out, you'd be homeless. But those guys are in a different situation because I understand. Now, I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm not saying I agree with them lying to that woman, but I understand it because these motherfuckers need a roof over their head. Like, that's a different situation. That's completely different. But because they're trying to survive. That's like survival technique right there, literally. But if you got your own roof over your head, you can support yourself and maybe even another person. Why are you putting yourself through that bullshit of lying to this woman? Why are you lying to her? Because you need to get some? Well, if you really care about her, you wouldn't lie to her because in the end it's going to hurt her more when she finds out. Or in the end, it can hurt yourself more when you get married and you have children and you love your children and you're out cheating, then you lose your children because you're out cheating and you lose half your money. It's a setup from the start. Why lie to that woman when you don't need her for anything? I understand you have a boss, you're lying to your boss, you know, your female boss is in love with you, you're lying to her to move up the corporate ladder, then your partner's in a company, and you're kind of like, no, fuck out of here. It's like, oh shit, that's pimp. I mean, it is fucked up because it is lying, and I agree with consenting adults, but that's kind of survival shit right there. Like, what are you getting out of that? You climb the corporate ladder. That's different. I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm not saying it's good, but it's different. That's all I'm saying is it's different. Because that's putting yourself in a better position. And I think as a man, we need to be able to do things besides how we feel emotionally. We can't just follow our emotions. That's more of a woman thing. That's way more of a woman thing. As a man, you shouldn't sit there and be like, oh, but if I don't have her, I'm going to feel bad, even though I still want other girls. Nigga, suck it up. If you really care about this woman, you wouldn't be lying to her. Now, maybe some guys don't even know. Maybe some guys don't even know that they're cheaters. They find out like, holy shit, I'm a cheater. I have a girlfriend. I didn't want to cheat on her, but I'm out cheating on her. This is usually guys with their first, second, or maybe third girlfriend, whatever. You know, young men, teenagers or something, and you realize that you're a cheater. Just think about how many times you hung out with your guy friends with girlfriends or wives, and think about how many times you heard them talk about, yeah, I fucked this chick, I fucked that chick, yeah, she can't find out, don't tell her anything. Yeah, we know, we're not going to say anything. Why the bullshit? Because you're not going to get laid if you don't lie to her? So I guess your game ain't that good. I mean, if it's all just for sex, I think it's definitely not worth it. Rub one out. Rub one out. Work on it slowly. There's many ways to get a woman to agree to your terms. You just got to step your game up and give it some time. Just give it some time. And then a lot of men are, and another problem with this is a lot of men are jealous that if their woman sees themselves in an open relationship, that their woman's going to be with another man, they're going to leave him. That's another reason why a lot of men get married and say, yeah, I'm taking you. That's another reason. But that's still going to set you up in the end, and that's still going to hurt that woman if you really care about her. Because look, none of this matters if you don't give a shit about how the woman feels. If you don't really give a shit. If you don't really love her. Because none of this matters. You could lie to her all day. She gets hurt, she'll live with it. It doesn't matter. But if you really love and care for that woman, why set her up in the end? And why set yourself up to lose possibly your kids and or your money? Why? Just to get some? You can get some. This is part of the reason why I think prostitution should be legal in America. This is part of the reason I think prostitution should be legalized in America. Government controlled or whatever, I don't give a fuck, but it definitely should be legalized. Cause niggas getting married and shit, all this lying of women and shit just so they could get laid. Like, is it that serious? Do you know what you're setting yourself up for? You're involving children with this in this relationship that you don't really give a fuck about? And you know you're gonna cheat? You know you're going to? Especially if you're the kind of guy who got women throwing themselves at you? And think of all the fun you're missing out on? You could be with a different woman every week, every night, depending on the kind of person you are. And you're gonna throw that away and be stressed out on this woman because you feel it's her fault that you can't sleep with these other women if you are trying to be a faithful man, and you get home and take it out on her and then sometimes cheat anyway? Why put yourself through that? It's because of today's culture. It's because of this culture of one man, one woman. That's the norm. If a man sleeps with another woman, when he has a woman, he's a dog. No bullshit. We need to stop the bullshit. Not all men are monogamous. We just gotta make it known. The more people hear it, the more people hear about it, the more it will become normal. That's how things are normalized. So let me give you an example of how I handle things. And I don't give a fuck who's watching this video. So typically, when I'm with a girl, I meet a girl, we start dating. Typically, we start having sex or something. I usually would just say something like, if there's anything you want to know about me, just ask. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't like doing the, oh yeah, it's just me and you. Then I go sleep with another girl. I don't do that stuff. I don't lie to you because I'm not scared of you. And I care about you. And if I love you, that's different. I'll talk about that. But I'm not scared of you. What am I scared to lie to you for? I'm not going to get laid? Okay, I got the internet. I'll live. And there's other girls out there. You know what I mean? I'm going to do what I got to do. I'm not going to lie to you like those other guys have. You know what I mean? So I would usually just say, if there's anything you want to know about me, just ask. Usually they don't even take that fucking invitation to fucking ask the questions they want to know. They just want to jump to conclusions, which is stupid. You should never jump to conclusions with anybody, especially if they're from a different culture. What the fuck are you jumping to conclusions for? They didn't come up in your culture. You guys don't do the same thing. Why the fuck would you expect that? I don't get it. You know what I mean? Oh, but I thought, no, don't think shit. I never told you that. Talk to me. Communication is important. If we got to use a translator, we use a translator. Talk to me. Speak your mind. Be honest. Ask what you want to know. That's part of the honesty. Asking what you want to know. Because the longer you don't ask, the more you live a lie because you're jumping to a conclusion. That's your fault if it's important to you. If it's important to you, ask to get the answer you need. Because I don't give a fuck what you're doing. So if it matters what I'm doing, you should ask me. Where did I put it? Where was I? Yeah. So usually they don't take the opportunity. And then one day something would happen. Maybe they'll find a condom wrapper in the garbage or I don't know, some other way to find out. They'll just find a hair in the apartment, something, or they'll just ask, but they ask too late because now they're angry and crying and shit, or they'll just ask, like, hey, am I the only girl you do this thing with? Like, no. I always say, no, you're not the only girl. And then I tell them what's going on, and from that moment, I'm not going to change anything. Just look, it's either you're going to accept it or you're not. I'm not going to lie to you. And if they say something like, what if I was doing that? And depending on my relationship with the girl, I could say something like, I don't really give a shit. That's your thing, you know what I mean? But I may not see you that much if I know you with other guys because I don't date women like that too often. That's not really for me. And then people say, oh, that's not fair. Relationships aren't based on fairness. It's based on an agreement between two adults. Some women can accept a man having other women, but that woman will stay just with that man. That happens. It happens. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I think a lot of dudes, and this, even some people I know, I'm not going to say names, a lot of dudes, I'm not going to say messing up the game, but a lot of dudes they let their emotions lead them. So they'll be with a woman, and this woman won't know that he's with other girls, But if this man find out this girl is with another guy, he'll go crazy on her. He'll go crazy. He'll get mad, try to ruin the relationship and all this shit. It's like, dude, I'm not saying it's wrong, but I don't understand your logic here when, you know, one, she's not even your girlfriend. If she's your girlfriend, I understand. You guys have no agreement that she can't do that stuff. You guys never spoke about that. She's doing what she wants to do, just like you are. Why is it a problem when she's doing it? So when she finds out you're doing it, you're going to be mad at her for being mad at you? When you find out she's doing it, it's okay for you to be mad at her when there's no fucking agreement to that? You guys didn't make any agreement. So I don't get that. That's hypocrisy right there. But there's a difference when there's agreements involved. You spoke about it, like, look, I may see other girls once in a while, blah, blah, blah. But if you want to see other guys, you know, that's your business. And depending on the relationship, I may say, I don't really care, or I don't really want to see you that often, because if you're messing with other guys, you're not the type of woman for me. It depends on the situation. So there could be a girl who's in my life. I could love her very much, take care of her. This girl will never have to work a day in her life if she doesn't want. I can help her start a business, everything, pay for her tuition, rent, all that stuff. And if she even kisses another guy, she's a ghost. Just a ghost. Like, I'll never see her again. She's done. Now, I invested way too much in this person for her to even touch another man. And of course we spoke about it. And she understands it, she agrees, and we both know the terms. We got it. But it could be another girl. I was kissing a guy last night. I was like, do I know him? All right, cool. And I won't give a fuck. So it depends on the relationship with the person you have and the agreement you make with each other. That's why communication is so important. It's all about communication. It's all about honesty. You know what I mean? I honestly don't think I can get married to a woman unless she's bisexual, she's not jealous. The closest woman to marry, actually, was a crazy face. You guys remember I was dating crazy? I know I always talk about her on this channel, but she opened my eyes to a world that I just couldn't believe. She was an attractive, tall, blonde girl, great ass. She was a twerker. She was young. She was like 19 at the time. She didn't give a shit about me being with other women. Her only rule was, if I'm with other women, she has to be there too. I'm like, yo, we're together. You know what I mean? We're together. But she decided to leave that relationship, and that's her fault. And I never talked shit about her afterwards. That shit was awesome. That's the kind of woman I need, and I'm not going to settle for less. If I'm going to be with someone forever, take her to America, live in the same place or whatever, nah, fuck that. There has to be something of that nature, because I'm not down with the jealousy. I don't got time for that. That's why I don't even think I can marry a woman who doesn't like other women. So I don't have time for it. You know what I mean? And I'm not even one of those guys, honestly. If you hang out with me, you know this. Because soon you'll see different videos on this channel of like pickup and stuff in the street. Because I hang out with Eddie and American Tim. Because now there's another Tim. And they do pickup, and I film them doing pickup. And they just pick up girls in the street. And they try to do this every single day. I never do that shit. I never do that shit. I told Eddie this summer that I may start speaking to women once in a while in the street. I may practice. But I'm not one of those guys who needs a new girl every day. I'm definitely not. Definitely not. Because one, I don't trust people. And two, in winter, I become I'm an introvert out the ass during the winter time. Like, I don't want to even talk to any fucking body. You know what I mean? Like, only people I really know, it's too cold, I'm too annoyed, leave me alone. Like, I really don't want to talk to shit. So, meeting a bunch of girls in wintertime, very unlikely. Unless I'm with guys and I'm helping them. You know what I mean? I'd rather meet girls in the summertime. You know, I still haven't had a drink. It's been 4 months. I haven't had a drink. I haven't partied or nothing. I'm just chilling. I mean, I've seen people, you know, people come over and stuff. But I don't go out. I just stay home, make that money, play video games, and get healthy. You know what I mean? So, I'm not even one of those guys, but I'm aware. I know myself, and I understand that once in a while, I'm going to want another woman. Or once in a while, I'm going to want 2 women at a time. Or once in a while, I'm going to want a woman who may be younger than the lady I'm with now. Or a woman who's older and thicker. You know, it's just me. I have that healthy appetite, you know? And when I was telling Jason about this, he was like, it's kind of like the sex movement. I'm like, it's not a sexual movement. It's not just about sex. It's about anything. It's about everything. It's just about honesty and changing the culture that if you're not just with one person, something's wrong with you. Or if your man is with other women and you allow him to do that, something's wrong with you. No, it isn't. It's an agreement between 2 adults. If everything is out there, you both agree to the terms, there's nothing wrong with it because you're adults. Fuck what anyone else thinks about it. And I think this is the perfect time to start the Stop the Bullshit movement, because now you got all this stuff going on with adults. You got men marrying men, women marrying women. You got transgenders marrying whatever the fuck. You got men marrying. I'm not talking about marrying a bunch of women. I don't see the point, but if that's what you want to do, go for it. I'm talking about just making it normal for a man to be with more than one woman. Or, because, that's his choice. And if they all know the truth, that's fine. So let's say a man got 5 women, and he's lying to them all, and they all think he's not with anyone else. That dude's a dog. He's a no good motherfucker. He's a fucking liar. He's a bitch. He's a liar. He's not a real man. If you're lying to get what you want from a woman, you're not a real man to me. I mean, we all tell little lies. Like if I was in a movie, I was in a movie. I was in a movie, but I was an extra. But I was in a movie. You know what I mean? But I'm not going to say something like, oh, baby, I love you. It's just me and you. I'm not going to touch any other woman. Come on. Unless she's supporting your ass or some shit and you need her because you can't even afford a place to live, which makes you not a man in my book, I understand. But if you are a man, why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? Unless you're climbing up some corporate fucking ladder. And with those lies, it leads you to a place of rich and fortune. Even and still, not saying I agree with it, just I understand it from a different point of view. But if you're just doing it to get laid or some shit a whole bunch of times and you're so emotional that I gotta lie to this lady because if I lose her, I won't get any. That's not true. Look, let me tell you something. I'm gonna finish off with this. This is something I realized growing up, because I'm 31, but I swear to God, it feels like I'm 60. No matter who you got, there's always someone better for you out there. I'm telling you, dog. I've ran into this time after time after time. No matter who you got, or if you don't even have anybody, there's someone out there for you, or there's someone better out there for you. You just got to give it time. You never know who you're going to meet. You never know who you're going to meet. You never fucking know. I'm telling you. You never know who you're going to meet. And remember, this ain't for all guys. Because there's a small percentage out there of guys who have no problem being with one woman. That's fine. But the vast majority of men, they don't want that. They want to live out some of their fantasies, and I feel you. And then some guys do want to live out their fantasies, but they ain't got time. They got to work 10 hours a day, 6 days a week, because they got a family to take care of. They don't even got time to do any of that crazy shit. And some men work so hard, the women let them go on vacation and don't even ask them what happened because their men work so hard and they don't even mind that they sleep with some other women sometime. And that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool when they're understanding. So, I don't know. I'm all about this Stop the Bullshit movement, man. We got to make it culturally acceptable that adults can have relationships based on whatever the fuck they want it to be based on. It has nothing to do with anyone else. Why can't a guy have 2 girlfriends? They all know. Why can't a guy have 3? Why can't a girl have 3 men? They all know what's going on. What's the problem? Why does that look so down upon? Why these celebrities constantly getting married and constantly cheating and getting caught cheating? Because in that Breakfast Club interview, it was Charlamagne the God, and DJ Envy and Kevin Hart. They all got caught cheating. All of them. But you think this is just some accident? They all just got caught that one time they cheated? No, they do it all the time. Why do they keep lying about it? I don't understand. And that's basically it, because hashtag Stop the Bullshit. Or you could do hashtag STBS. STBS. So let's get to it, Nicholas. I'm out. Oh, and definitely if you want to support, you want to help me with the Stop the Movement, Stop the Bullshit campaign, just hit up my Patreon page. It's in the link. We'll talk about it. Maybe you got some ideas. Maybe you got some big opinions. I'd love to hear from you. Maybe you're another YouTuber. We could do this shit together. But I'm looking for some dudes who are really willing to start this Stop the Bullshit campaign. Because I'm all about it. Honesty between adults is all we need. And I'm out, Nicholas. Later.